Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. I will try and go quickly. These do tend to go a little long, and I do want you to scroll through all of them to get the most out of the feedback. And I want you to remember that if you make a 100 this week, it doesn't mean that everything's perfect. It means that you met the benchmarks this week. You still have things that you'll need to do to continue to improve your site, all right? Okay, Robbie, this looks great. I love the logo, and I'm used to seeing something up here, but it's fine. I don't need to. And nice. Everything is looking really good. Your links work. Very professional photo. Maybe this could go a little bigger. And you do, I think, want the this to be a little higher contrast, the lettering here. All right, that's a little hard to read. And it's possible you want this a little larger. And I'm curious if that is this font doesn't appear to be the same as this, and I think I would be consistent there. This is also a little hard to read. Okay, and just, make sure you're aligning. This may need to be bigger, right? And the contrast here, if you even need both of those. But yeah, I think this needs to be maybe a little closer to the one you have in front, maybe. I'll let you think about that. And definitely the font needs to be consistent, right? And so I feel like we have an arrangement of this somewhat 3 times in different kind of ways. And on the one hand, it's great that they can contact you, but on the other hand, I'm not sure we need all of those. All right, so terrific work, nice and clean, just what I want to see. Okay, all right, well done. Okay, let's look at this as actual size. I think these may want to, these will need to be maybe larger. Just put this one here and make sure that your spacing is the same, both horizontally and vertically. So it's gridded. You're close. I mean, you're aligned, and that's great. And here that appears right, and it's aligned with this. This is throwing things off, right? Update this. And one of the things that's happening on this site is that we're losing the navigation. So that's a really important aspect. So I can only back-click. Could go here and probably come to this page, but we really need to have navigation on each page, okay? So this is your secondary font or your body copy that you've chosen. Again, I want to have navigation rather than going back to the same page every time. Okay. Okay, so this works, and it may be better than what you have. Also, you're going to need your asset guides, right? Tell us exactly what you did for these. Something short, just what you submitted for class is what you'll use. Consider some sort of mock-up, okay, if you need to. All right, but it's a great job. I really just need to have that navigation back. Okay, the thing with this one is you've got your asset guide, and that's really great. The kerning is too close. That's the space between the letters. That needs to spread out just a little bit. And you might, yeah, and this is hard to read. The contrast just isn't here. If these are not going to your commercial work, and if it is, great, but let's have a bit of a distinction. Like when we go to your narrative work, let's have a little something that says narrative. Like between, this is a video there, I suppose, and I can't really see it, or this is the asset for that. Okay, great. All right. That's okay. I was thinking you might want to put this over here, but that's fine. But let's have something that distinguishes that this is not your narration and then something for your commercial work. So we know where we are. This is just too lightweight, too thin. Okay. So we want to streamline the font styles. Okay. That needs higher contrast. Okay. So I'm just a little bit confused. Just a little, maybe because I don't have separations, right? Maybe even just a white, very thin bar that helps separate. So I know that this goes to this, so I know what goes to what. I know you know, and it's not that it's that difficult, but we want it to be very fast. In the future, when you are able to, try and keep your titles short. And okay. All right, so this actually is easier to read because it's a higher contrast than that, right? This is not easy to read. Okay, this is easy to read. Contrast needs to be higher in all of these, and we need to make sure that when we click on them, it goes where we say, but now we're losing the navigation, and it's going up, and that should go up. Okay, so not a lot that has to be done, but it does need a little bit of work just to be a little more legible. Good job on all this. You're super close, super close. I think you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's a good project. Okay, when I select contact, it comes here, but I'm still kind of looking at that. So you might want that to be a page by itself, the contact page, right? Good work. Okay, so here we are at home. Let's combine these words in and to, and let's do that here as well. So it's the word into. Okay. And then here, good. I would rather it, be here instead of having this section here. You could anchor it here. Probably could cut a paragraph out. Okay. But it's working so far and easy to read. And you're on the right track here. I think black on black, I like it, but maybe it needs a little title or something small that kind of gives us a clue of what we're working with there. Like this does. If you had a black and white for each of these, that would be great. The same kind of treatment, even if the video didn't, that could be a part of your brand. And this is great too, okay? You don't usually need this, but okay, usually you just need the icons. But it's looking good, looking good. Nice and clean, nice work, right? Good job. Okay, Kyle, good. Clean. And it's really fitting for what you're doing here. This is great. Great. And I think this is yours. It just looks original to me, but hopefully it's yours. I think it is. This is probably fine, you know, and it probably already exists somewhere in hard copy, but you might be able to set up something that's cleaner, even if it has to scroll a little bit. But this is fine. Certainly for this class, it's fine, and it, you know, meets your aesthetic. It's great. It is 2020 schedule, so that might be something you want to work on. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay, great. Hope that's yours. It feels live to me. And great. And great. Okay. This is working fine. Usually it doesn't embed very well, and that it's messy usually, but this is fine, especially given the brand that you have. For many people, this will work better if you put it in a mobile phone mock-up, like an Apple phone. You can put 3 up. It works when there's one, generally, but when there's more, it's really chaotic. But yeah, that's great. And you're going here, here, here. So yeah, nice work. Good job, Kyle. Okay, we looked at that. Okay, nice. And I think you do want to remove this black background. It's going to become very dated if you did it on purpose. If you didn't do it on purpose, you can get rid of it usually by removing the format. If you tried pasting something in and it brought that with it. A little tight on the kerning there. This word production definitely needs to either be down here where it's larger, right? It doesn't reproduce well, it doesn't reduce well. And it's really the only thing that tells us for sure what it is you do. And that's still iffy, but it gives us a good idea. This definitely tells us what you do. And so I thought that was a well-organized presentation of that. And this is just exactly what you needed to do, to supply just enough information so we know what your skill was, what you did. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. I left align this and make sure we don't have a single word by itself. Okay. So I'm a little, I guess that's just an icon because it's if it's by itself and if it's not a video there, and I don't think it is, I think I would put it somewhere else, either closer to this or, you know, but not hanging by itself. You know, it could be on your, you see you have it on every page, but maybe it goes here, right? Or closer to this. It's just sort of by itself like that. So, but this is nice and clean. Good job there. You have a number of different fonts, but you've pulled it together and you've made it work. So yeah, kudos. Good job. I'm going to look at your mobile now. Okay. Think about, you know, the focus of your image and the size of your font when you go mobile. You guys are responsible for your mobile this month. I generally, I do have an assignment where you guys just look at your mobile, but instead, it's something you're just going to be incorporating as you go. So that's one less submission night for you. And just while there's COVID and things like this, I'm trying to streamline as much as I can for you. Okay. All right. This was also laid out well. Not sure why it says heading 1, but you would want to bring it up and have a little more space like this. And I'm not sure what this is. It may have been some sort of contact, but it needs to go out, or you need to put, you know, your information here for this, your asset guide, update this for sure. Make sure these are going to yours and not Wix. So disable those if you don't have those accounts. Bring all this up. I think I said that, but bring all this up. Nice, just the right amount, and a nice quote. I like that your background is consistent. That's something that frequently is overlooked and missing, and it just makes a world of difference. So this is really working. I like the name. It's good. Film, great. You tell us this. Phone, think about that. This is the only thing it needs to be, I think you can see it just needs to be simplified. So maybe you ran out of time. And that could be, it could mean anything. It could mean that you need a consistent black background. But just having things go this way and then this way and then over this way, and instead of, you know, aligned like you do here. Spacing needs to be identical everywhere, and just the same treatment. So you'll look at it again and you'll decide how you want to do that. But I know that you will, because it's come together really great. And let's move the contact over to here, to the far right, because that's where your client is going to look for it. Let's not have one word by itself on a line, little orphan there. And a little more space there, more like what you have here. Okay, good. Okay, the space between the lines is just a little more than it needs to be. Just a little, okay? But it's looking great. It's looking really good. All right, good job. Angel, okay. I would just use one of these and try and bring this over here. Not sure that's necessary, but okay. This is good. I don't know about this outline. I think it would be better without it if you can do that. The same amount of spacing everywhere, same that you would have here, you would have here. And if you don't have this, then move something over here so that it's not the first one that's missing, I think. It doesn't look like a title, which I think it is. I think it's supposed to be a descriptor. I think maybe an asset guide would go well here, and it can be just as organized. That would be best. I see you have this here and this here, but it feels like it's a placeholder. I can see now that's not what you intended, but when I first looked at it, that's how I felt. Okay. Okay. But now that I see you have a theme going like this, I understand it a little better. Connect to what, you know, either disable or connect these. That could be connected to yours. Yeah. Okay. A little more space here on top. Maybe a little space between that header there. Okay. So when you select work, you want it to come right here. And this may be a little large. This probably could be 2 paragraphs instead of 4 broken up like that. Okay, so you have this size here, and then we go to this size, which I feel is much bigger. Okay, so simplify this a little bit, not quite so big. It's competing with your headers. This is different from this as far as the font. It's possible that it's the same font, but this is all upper cap. This is bolded, lower, upper, lower. And I feel like, no, this is the same as this, but this is bold. It's just too close to in the same size. So we need a little hierarchy there. Okay, and when you hit connect, you want it to contact, you want it to come up right to the contact page. So they're not looking for it. This, maybe you want just a very slight drop shadow so it separates here where it's overlapping and here. Okay. Just a slight drop shadow would help that, just enough. Okay, all right, great start. Jessica, very fancy, very fancy. A little space between there would be good. Maybe space there. This may need to be slightly darker. I know it still looks a little silver, but just a little darker. And if you continue like this, having it not aligned, it's probably fine. Okay, maybe a little space here and here. All good. Okay, there's a little more space here than here. Little things like that. Maybe you, yeah, you'll work those things out. Okay. Good, good. This has a lot of space, but still well organized. And don't forget the use of mock-ups for you, for some of your work. If you choose to, you can play around with it. I know you're really close to being finished. Still, depending on how much time you have. Okay. All right, it's small, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I feel like you need a little bit of space up here. Okay. It's because those, descenders of these caps. Okay. I don't think you need this image. It may be that this isn't very fancy, but I think this background with this up here and this all the way down would actually hold up better. Okay. And this will ultimately need to be enter text because none of this is searchable. If they search, the only thing they're going to find when they search this is the title of the file. Okay, so This is fine as a download, and they have different icons for Acrobat. One is a gray in Wix that you can choose from. But that's something you're going to want to do. We'll be talking about search engine optimization again, so that's where it's really going to help when you have Adobe Creative Cloud, Adobe, hopefully you will list, Illustrator and Photoshop and things like that. Those things will pull up, but they won't, none of this will pull up, okay? Super important, but it's fine for a download. Okay. Okay. I want you to take a look at, this works on most pages, but take a look at other vertical navigation. Just check it out. I'm not saying it's going to be better. I just want you to take a look at it. All right, let's close up some of that space. Okay, make it a little more consistent. So there's a little space here, just the same amount of space between your headers and your work, okay, in every case. Okay, all right, great job. Okay, Nicholas. Yeah, I think you're going to need a opaque, low opacity shape behind this. Probably larger. And so, yeah, let's not do that. I think this is even going to be better. With this blue background, you could even just use the white and make sure that it extends enough to where this isn't by itself. And the three lines would be fine. You played the Can't Unsee game this month, and so you know that when you look at these edges, we need to have some consistency. So these are sharp edges. Well, this is rounded, sharp, rounded. So that's something that you would carry through, those kind of details. But this is great. You tell us exactly what you do. I'm not sure. We appear to have another font here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Possibly 4. Let's see. This might be the same as this, but it might not. It's a little hard to tell right now. Okay, no placeholder text, all right? So this has to come out. So I'm not sure you need it in both places because it's right here and it's right here. Try something different here. I'm not a real fan of buttons up here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe bring it up. It's a little dated and the font's a little hard to make out in waves because it's a serif like that. Hit contact, takes us here, that's good. You need a little something that says contact, and it shouldn't have this, all right? So it should anchor. I can't scroll, but this should be up a little higher so it's not at the top of our contact page. Okay, so this could come up to here, and probably, like I say, you're going to have a shape with an opacity, light opacity. Yeah, you don't even need these at all. And this just needs to be simplified. This background, I'm not sure that's yours, in which case it would need to come out. And you could use one of your own, would be a good idea. But this is working otherwise, except for the background. And you could just say video production, and then this could be in your about the affordable for small businesses. That would reduce all that text there. Okay, so yeah, it's just, you can see, especially on this page, we've got little pieces. It's a piece over here, there's a piece here, 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 and here. And what we want to do is make these feel like they are grouped. So this would come up and be grouped with this. That would be one group. This would somehow be another group, whether it means, it's closer, matches in some way, like this style all the way over. You see, so, but you've got it simplified, and that's important. All right, and you have some work on it. So just a little more time. Just a little more time. Good job. Okay. This is a very nice, simple site. This works well. You may want a different image of Professional Shop because it's a little grainy. I'm not sure what the background is, but this is fine. Ordinarily, you would left align it, but it's not bothering me. We don't have a single word hanging by itself. Really easy to make out here. This link doesn't work though. So that's something you want to take care of. This is good. Good. I would left align this possibly. Yeah, I would just left align it and link these up or disable them altogether. Bring this up and think about your headers. If this is a header for this is a header for that, then it should be the same, and this should probably try and be in the same location, and that will bring it all up. It is a very fine serif, so you can see the strokes are thin in places, so you might want to think about doing something else there. And eventually use some of your own work, right, to replace those for sure. This isn't too bad. I know I say no templates, but I understand why you have this here. But you do want to begin to put your own work there. Okay. Good job. Perfect. Nice and simple. Simple all the way. All right. All right, you guys, happy with what you've produced this week, and it's only week 1, so you've done a great job. So week 2, you're going to get better and better, and the goal is that by the end of the 4 weeks, you will have a site that you feel good about, and you will also have the ability to build sites for others. You'll know the process, the proposal, sitemaps, wireframes, and the stages that you would need to go through. So good job.